Hello, welcome. And for our practice today, you'll need a strap. So if you want to grab a strap before we get started, that way you're not going to have to stop or pause in the middle of the practice. So to begin our practice tonight, we're actually going to lie down on our back. And if it's comfortable for you, you can bring the legs up to the side. And the first thing you're going to do is lift the arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in. And then tighten everything up. Your face, your hands, your whole entire body, your legs, your feet. And then as you exhale, totally let go. Release any struggles. Relaxing, melting yourself down into the mat. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So nice deep breath in as you tighten everything up. And then letting everything go. Sinking down into the mat. Letting go of anything that does not serve you. And then one last time, nice deep breath in. Tight everything, including the face, and then and completely relax. Keeping the eyes closed, let's think of an intention or a mantra for our practice. Visualizing that mantra in our mind's eye. And then you can begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers. And we're going to start out with that strap. So you can bring your feet to the mat with the knees bent. And from here, we're going to start by placing the strap on our right foot. Keep the left knee bent, head is on the floor, and we're going to bring the foot all the way down to the mat, the leg down to the mat. And then as you inhale, using the strap, bring the leg up towards you. And then exhale, coming down to the mat, relax the foot, inhale, coming up. And we'll do that a total of 8 times. This will be number 3. You want to feel just a nice gentle stretch or warming up the muscles here, so not overstretching, not forcing, no struggling or fighting with our bodies. And on that 8th time, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Start bringing your awareness internally. Again, not forcing or struggling. Just feeling a nice gentle stretch in the back of the leg. That leg down to the mat, pointing the toes out towards the right, rotating that right hip, and then coming out to the side and up. We're keeping that left hip on the mat, isolating that right hip. This is a good exercise for creating a little bit more rotation, range of motion in the hip. And then we'll move in the opposite direction, so bringing the foot out to the side and then back in and up. Again, isolating that right hip, keeping the left hip down on the mat. then the next time the foot is up, we'll hold this again up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling a nice gentle stretch in the back of the leg without struggling or forcing. On the other side. So with the strap on the left foot, the right knee is bent. We'll bring that whole leg down, rest it on the mat, and then bring the foot up. Use the strap as your guide. Try not to use so much of the muscle in the leg. Try to keep that muscles in the leg nice and relaxed as you bring the foot up towards you. Up towards the ceiling without overstretching or struggling. Feeling that nice gentle stretch on the whole left side, back of the leg. And then bringing that leg back down to the mat, pointing the toes out to the left, and then bringing the leg out to the side and up. Again, isolating the left hip now, keeping that right hip on the mat. Full range of motion here. Good for warming up that hip. At your own pace. And then the next time the foot is up, we're going to bring the foot out to the side and then down and around. One more time, holding the foot up towards the ceiling. And then releasing the strap. Let's bring the right knee in towards the chest and bring that left leg down to the mat. Allow the weight of the leg and gravity to just gently pull that knee in towards the chest. There's no struggling here. And as we hold this, you can circle the right ankle in one direction. Make big circles with the toes. And then in the opposite direction. Creating a little bit more space in that ankle joint. And then pointing the toes in towards the knee, and then bringing the toes away from the knee. So we're flexing and pointing. And then just relax that foot, holding the knee in towards the chest. We'll do that same thing with the left knee coming into the chest, right leg on the mat. Circling the ankle in one direction. Opening up that ankle joint. And then in the opposite direction. And then bring the toes in towards the knee, and then point the toes away from the knee. Flexing and pointing. And then relax that foot. And simply allow the knee to come in towards the chest. And then bringing both feet to the mat with the knees bent. From here, let's take the left leg, place it on the mat, and then bring the right knee out to the right. We're going to hold this for about 5 breaths. Just relax the body. Allow the hips to gently open. Relaxing the body here. Thoughts come into the mind, stepping back from those thoughts, do not engage. Bringing the attention back to the breath. And then bringing the right knee back up through center, and then bending the left knee, bringing the right leg down to the mat, and the left knee coming out to the left. And we'll hold this for about 5 breaths. Relaxing the body. Allowing the hips to gently open. And then bringing that left knee back up and the right knee up. And then we'll go into a full reclined butterfly here, bringing both knees out to the side. Allowing gravity to just gently open those hips. Releasing any tension. With each exhalation. Thoughts come into the mind, simply stepping back from those thoughts. Bringing the attention back to the breath. Stilling the mind. And then gently bringing the knees back up through center. We're going to come back to that strap, and we'll start with the right foot. Placing the strap on that foot, keeping the left knee bent. And we're going to go into half happy baby here. So what we're doing is we're bending the knee and bringing it in towards the armpit. Try to keep the foot flat, as if you're walking on the ceiling here. And not forcing, just allowing the strap to guide the knee down towards the armpit. And again, holding this for a good 5 breaths. Allow the hip and the thigh to relax. With each exhalation, we're letting go. And then gently bringing that foot back up towards the ceiling, switching legs, doing that half happy baby on the left side. Again, bringing that knee in towards the armpit. The foot is nice and flat, as if you're walking on the ceiling. And then relaxing that hip, the thigh. And then releasing the strap, bringing both feet down to the mat. And then from here, let's turn over to one side, and we're going to come up to a standing position. You can come to the front of your mat, and what we're going to do from here is step back with that right foot, coming into a lunge. So keep pressing back towards that back wall with the right foot, pressing the heel back. We're dropping the hips here, lifting the chest and looking up, really opening up those hips. Few more breaths. And then stepping forward, we'll do that same thing on the left side. So bringing that left foot back, pressing the heel back towards the back wall. Notice my front knee is directly over the ankle, opening those hips, bringing the hips down towards the mat, lifting the chest. The head and the neck are in alignment with the rest of the spine. Nice line of energy from that back heel all the way up through the crown of the head. And then gently bringing the feet together, coming into a forward fold here. Notice my knees are slightly bent to protect the lower back. Relax the head, the neck, shoulders, the arms. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. if you want a little bit more stretch in the back of those legs as you exhale, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling without struggling or overstretching. And then from here with a flat back, let's come on up to a standing position. From a standing position, bring the feet out to about hip width. Place your hands on your hips. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's bring that right foot back. The toes are curled under. The heel is up off the ground. Coming into a lunge here. Bring the arms up to your sides and then up, interlacing the fingers in temple position, pressing down into both feet. And if it's in your practice, as you exhale, you can create a slight back bend here, opening up the chest. But only if it's in your practice. Notice that the head and the neck stay in alignment with the rest of the spine. If you're in that back bend, you can come out of that back bend. As you inhale, step forward, bringing the hands down to your heart center. Realign the feet. The feet should be out to hip width. Bring the hands to the hips. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So as you inhale, step back with that left foot. Dropping the hips here. That front knee is directly over the ankle. As you inhale, raise the hands up, interlace the fingers. The toes are curled under, pressing that back heel back towards the back wall. And if it's in your practice, moving into a back bend. Keeping the head and the neck in alignment with the rest of the spine. And if you're in the back bend, you can come back out of that. And then as you inhale, stepping forward, coming down. This is all about opening the hips. So what we're going to do is come sideways on our mat here and start bringing the legs out to a very wide stance. What is appropriate for you. And then we're going to go into a wide stance forward fold. So as you exhale, start bringing the torso down towards the mat. And the hands can either be at the ankles, or if you want a little bit more support, they can be right directly underneath the head here. The knees are slightly bent. We're relaxing in the back of the legs, relaxing in the lower back. You might want to shift the weight a little bit to the balls of the feet. Mild inversion here. And then coming up with a flat back. And then from here we're going to go into what I call a standing hand to foot. I'm going to come to the side so you can see what this looks like from the side. Your feet are fairly close together. This is a balancing pose. So what we first want to do is press both feet down into the floor, extend up through the crown of the head. With all of our balancing poses, we want to focus on one point in front of you. And then shift your weight to the left, and then start bending that right knee. You're going to start bringing the right knee up towards the chest. As you bring that knee up towards the chest, coming only to what's appropriate for you. So your hand can be underneath the knee, or if you want, you can interlace the fingers right below the knee. And you're bringing that knee up in towards the chest. This is phase 1. If you want to move on to phase 2, you're holding on to the bottom of that foot and then standing up nice and tall. This is phase 2. If you want to move on to phase 3, you're going to be bringing that foot out. Feel that nice stretch in the shoulders. So you decide where you are today in your practice. Focus on one point. If you're in phase 3, coming into phase 2, and then everyone bringing the foot down to the mat, releasing the pose. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So first pressing down into both feet, extending up through the crown of your head, focusing on one point, and then shifting your weight to the right, bending that left knee, coming into either phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. Your choice. And if you fall out of it, just come right back in. Be in the present moment. And if you're in phase 3, you can come back to phase 2. And then everyone can bring their feet down to the mat. And relaxing a little bit here. And then we're going to go back into a wide stance. For this wide stance, we're going to be going into a Warrior 2 series. So let's bring the left foot out to the left, right foot partly in. If the body is turned, we want to bring that body so that it's to the front, facing the front of the room, and then bring the arms out to the side. If the shoulders come up towards the ears, roll them back and away from the ears. And then turning the head out to the left. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to start bending that left knee, coming into a Warrior 2. Holding this pose. Notice that my knee is directly over the ankle. Only come to what's appropriate for you. And then turning the palm up towards the ceiling, bringing the hand up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the heavens, opening the chest, and then coming back to Warrior 2. And then you can straighten that knee, coming back to our wide stance. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So the right foot comes out to the right, left foot partly in. If your body is turned, we want to bring the body back so that the front of your body is facing the front of the room. Bring the arms out, shoulders back, away from the ears, and bringing the head towards the right And as you exhale, bending that right knee. Again, noticing that the right knee is directly over the ankle. And then bringing the palm up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the heavens, opening the chest. Coming back to Warrior Two. And then straightening that knee, coming back to our wide stance. And bringing the hands to the hips one more time, coming into a wide stance forward fold. This time bringing the hands down right below the face. The knees are slightly bent. We're going to take and bring the hand right underneath the head and keeping the hips square with the mat. As you exhale, let's bring the arm up towards the ceiling. We're twisting in the middle of the spine. And then bringing that hand down. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. Make sure the hips stay parallel with the mat. And then bringing that hand down. And coming out of this, again with a flat back, coming to a standing position. And then from here, let's bring the toes out and the feet out to an angle. And then from here, we're going to come into a squat. So find the place for you where those feet feel most comfortable. And then bringing the hands up towards the heart here. And maybe closing the eyes. Finding stillness in your pose. And then bringing the hands down to the mat and coming to a seated position. We're going to bring the legs out to the sides, again in a comfortable distance for you. And then as you inhale, raise both arms up. And then we're going to bring the right hand down to the right foot. Feeling that nice stretch on the whole left side of the body. And as you inhale, come all the way up. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So bringing the body down to the left side. Feeling that nice stretch on the whole right side of the body. And then coming back up. Bringing both feet in. Sit up nice and tall. Bringing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, slowly begin to bend at the hip creases, moving up the spine, and again, coming to a point that's comfortable for you. And then slowly coming back up. And then from here, let's bring the feet to the mat. We'll do just a little bit of core work here. So we're going to go into boat pose. So we want to bring the torso to an angle here, and then bringing the arms out to the side. This might be your boat pose tonight, or if you want to start lifting the legs. And sometimes you can hold them or just keep the arms next to the sides. Or if you want to come all the way up. So your choice, work where you are tonight. And then bringing the feet down to the mat. Bring the arms up overhead and then coming into a forward fold. Out of our forward fold. One more time, coming into our boat pose. And then coming out of boat pose and coming into a forward fold. And then coming slowly out of that. Next we'll be moving to our stomach. So we're going to flip over and come to our stomach. And once we're on our stomach here, let's bring our forehead to the mat. Bring the arms out to our side at about a 45-degree angle with the palms facing down, and bring the feet together. And then as you inhale, let's start raising the torso, the head, the arms, and the legs off the mat. And then slowly lowering the body down, turning the head to one side, and completely relax here, releasing any tension from the body. And then turning the head back towards the mat. This time, bending the knees, holding on to the feet or the ankles. And as you inhale, lifting the legs, the arms, the torso, the head up off the mat. Slowly releasing that, turning the head to the opposite direction, and again completely relaxing here, letting go, surrendering. And then releasing that, we're going to come into a child's pose next. With your child's pose, the knees can either be together or you can bring the knees out a little bit. And your choice where your hands are, they can be in front of you, or if you need a little bit more support on the head, you can bring them underneath the forehead. Relaxing here. And then gently coming out of that, we'll turn and come to our backs, bringing the knees up into the chest, circling the hips here, and then moving in the opposite direction. And then gently bringing the knees in towards the chest. And then bringing the arms out to a T formation. Becoming aware of the shoulders, noticing that both shoulders are in contact with the mat. And as you exhale, keeping those shoulders in contact with the mat, bringing the knees down to our right side. You can turn the head to the left. Towards the ceiling, bringing the knees back in, up into the chest, and then bringing the knees down to your left side and turning the head to the right. Both shoulders are in contact with the mat. center, and then bringing the feet first to the mat, and then bringing the legs down to the mat, coming to our final destination, our Shavasana. And we'll be in our Shavasana for about 10 minutes. Relaxing, releasing. Allow your entire body to surrender down into the mat. to bring your attention back to the breath. And then start to wiggle the toes and your fingers. Gently moving the body in any way that feels natural for you. Waking yourself up as if you're waking up from a deep, restful sleep. Eventually you can move yourself over to your right side. Taking a couple nice deep breaths here, pausing. Feeling the calmness that you've cultivated in your practice. And with your eyes remaining closed, you can come up into a comfortable seated position. Just as water flowing in the streams and rivers fill the ocean, thus may all your moments of goodness touch and benefit all beings. May all your wishes be soon fulfilled as completely as the moon on a full moon night. And may all dangers be averted. May all disease leave you. May no obstacles come across your way, and may you enjoy happiness and long life. And may you prosper in the 4 blessings, that of old age, beauty, happiness, and strength. Bringing your hands out to the sides with the palms facing up. As you inhale, raise the arms up overhead, gathering energy in the palms, bringing the palms together. And as you exhale, sending that energy into your heart center. May all beings find health, happiness, and inner peace. Shavasana.